traveling down Cindy Lane in the town of Wallkill in her 1991 white Mercury Sable. The following day, Megan's body was discovered in a field off Bowser Road in the town of Wallkill. The cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma. On March 17th, Megan's vehicle was discovered abandoned in the parking lot of Kensington Manor Apartments. Megan lived her entire life in Orange County. At the time of her death, Megan worked at the Galleria Mall in the town of Wallkill and was attending SUNY Orange Community College. Megan was loving, caring, independent, strong-willed young woman. She had an infectious smile, bubbly personality, and great sense of humor. The New York State Police continue to actively investigate her murder. I would now like to invite the McDonald family to the podium to share a few words about Megan.
Good morning, and thank you for having us here to share memories of Megan and to talk about her. I'm her sister Karen, and this is my husband James. In thinking about what to say today, we were struck by the realization and the commitment that when this is all over, and it will be over, what happened to Megan will not be her legacy. Her murder is not and will not be what defines her or our family. She will not be remembered as a homicide victim. Rather, Megan will be remembered for her smile, her compassion, her sense of humor, and most importantly, her humanity. We thought about some fun stories to share about Megan. And Megan's compassion in particular, her compassion for animals, was always a defining feature of her life. It was when she was about 14 years old that she was outside and found a stray cat. She brought him home in her overall pocket. He was a fluffy little white and orange cat, and with her fortitude, she convinced my mom to let us keep him. And she carried that kitty around in her pocket all the time. She named him Simba, and then decided a few months later that he needed a friend, and she went and got Nala, which is another orange kitty. And I have to say, it was just heartbreaking to see those cats after Megan was gone. After the passing of our grandfather, Megan went and lived with our grandma for part of the summer. My grandma lived in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, with barely any neighbors. Megan took it upon herself to pack her things and go help her. She saw to it that she drove her where she needed to go, took care of the outside chores, which were hard and demanding, and she did the most important thing a granddaughter could do. She sat with her and had fresh baked cookies and listened to stories of the past. Megan was really upset at the thought of having to return home 3 hours away from where my grandma was. So she did what she did best, and she went out and got my grandma a kitten to take her place. So my grandma had a companion, and Megan went back home. As kids during the summertime, Megan and I spent countless days at Crestview Lake out in New Windsor. We would spend the entire day swimming, playing in the sand, and running between the snack bar and the arcade. It was always special when our dad took us by himself. On the side of the lake where the barbecue grills and the paddle boats were, that's where we would spend our time. We always looked forward to those days, in particular the week leading up to it. My dad always wanted to take us fishing there. Megan wanted to do it, and she enjoyed spending time with my dad, but she didn't want to hurt the worms, and she didn't want to hurt the fish. So my dad, in his true fashion, wanted to make his little girl happy, and he figured out a way to make it happen. So instead of Megan having to put worms on the hook and hurt them, he got canned biscuit dough, and that's how she would go fishing with my dad. They had such a special relationship, and he would do anything for his little girl. This was the kind of person Megan was at her core. She cared about making sure people felt cared for and loved, as well as animals. Not just the cute and fluffy kinds, but animals as small as worms. She would love She was warm and compassionate. Her smile lit up a room and people enjoyed being in her company. Megan had a spirit that radiated warmth and friendship. You can see that spark in pictures and videos of her and see why so many people care about her and love her to this day.
So my name is James. I'm Karen's husband. I was Megan's brother-in-law. I met her when she was 16, and I was a shy, nervous 20-year-old dating her older sister. Yet I was the one intimidated by Megan, not the other way around. Although that quickly disappeared once I got to know her. She made me feel like part of the family. So it's an understatement to say that in the years since Megan was taken from us, that they have been difficult. We've had no other choice in all this time but to continue to seek justice. In the beginning, we were overcome with grief, sadness, and anger as to what had happened to Megan. And at that time, we were broken and we were weak. It would be hard to say that the time that we've gone through has been a blessing, but now on this side of it, we can both say that we are different and things are different. We've come to the realization that this time, these 19 years, can be used as a positive for our family. The distance and the time have given us clarity to ensure that those who harmed Megan in life and have continued to harm her in death will be held accountable. Those people have made a crucial mistake in allowing this to continue, and they've allowed us and the rest of Megan's family to build our strength. And we're here to demand that those people do the right thing now and not wait until after an arrest is made. As we look forward to moving on from the investigation to the next phase in this case, we're here to represent not only Megan's family, but the community at large, who reach out to us and tell us that they're demanding nothing less than the harshest sentence that can be brought to bear against the coward who took her life. Megan was victimized in life, and she has been victimized in death. There are people who know about this case and have either remained silent or have actively worked against the state police.
We have experienced the worst of what some people are capable of. We have had Megan taken by an evil person. It shook our faith in humanity. We are eternally grateful to the police, and here, as we stand at Troop F headquarters, it is important for us to say that we stand with them and we support them. Officers like Paul DeCorder, Matt Skarkis, Mike Corletta, John Javahari, Brad Natalizio, and so many others. The gentlemen that we mentioned are the most upstanding and trustworthy examples of good in this world. We recognize the hours worked, the dedication, and the emotional and mental toll that this case has taken on them. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
So having seen what the police have done, we want to say publicly, we demand nothing less than maximum effort and integrity from the district attorney when this case gets there, and I want to repeat that. We demand nothing less than maximum effort and integrity from the district attorney. Anything less than complete justice will be unacceptable to us, and we and the rest of Megan's family will ensure that that happens. We hear the community loud and clear behind us. Not only the rest of Megan's family, her friends and loved ones, but Megan's fathers, brothers, and sisters in blue, the New York City Detectives Endowment Association, local law enforcement, and former police officers committed to seeking justice for the daughter of one of their own. The last 6 months have seen a tremendous surge in this case, and we know that the end is near. The point that we want to hammer home to those involved is this: justice does not only mean handcuffs at this point. The person who killed Megan has actually been able to live free for almost as long as Megan was alive on this earth. We expect him to have his freedom taken away from him for as long as possible, and those who aided and abetted him and those who have worked against the state police to be held accountable. And all of us standing behind Megan demand it, and we will make sure that that is achieved.
In closing, we want to say that when this is all over, this case will not be Megan's legacy. Her murder is not going to be what defines her for our family. She will be not remembered as a murder victim on billboards, but will be remembered for her smile, compassion, and sense of humor. We have a Facebook page called Justice for Megan McDonald, where you can see beautiful pictures of Megan, and we've been telling stories about her life. My favorite are the videos because you can just see her full of life and see her for who she was. So if you want to smile today, you gotta go see that.
That's right.
Those videos. But that's how we're gonna remember her, full of life and her smile.
Right, exactly.
So thank you for
Thank you.
having us here today and telling Megan's story. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for everybody coming.